For men circle him in a blood-stained basement, closing in slow and careful, the way you approach something you don't fully believe is human. A metal collar hits the concrete floor with a single quiet click, and every one of them stops breathing for a second. Nobody in that room has any idea what happens in the next 10 seconds, and neither do you yet. His name is Danny, though he barely remembers when anyone last called him that with any warmth. He grows up in Glasgow, in the back rooms of a criminal empire. Not as a son, as a weapon. Bart is the man who controls him. Years ago, Bart decides that a child is easier to shape into a killer than an adult ever could be. So he builds Danny from the ground up. No school, no friends, no softness. A collar sits around his neck at all times. Danny has learned that when it comes off, something switches on inside him that he does not understand and cannot control. He does not know how to order food. He does not know how to hold a normal conversation. He has never chosen a single thing for himself in his entire life. His only purpose is collecting debts and fighting for Bart, and his only reward is being fed, caged, and told when to sleep. But what he did not know was that somewhere underneath all that obedience, something is still alive. Fragments of a woman's voice, a melody he cannot place, a mother he is not supposed to remember. The conflict is simple and brutal. Danny is a fully grown man trapped in the mind of an obedient dog, owned by someone who profits from keeping him that way. Bart has a new deal. An underground fighting ring, run by men even more dangerous than him, pays huge money for one thing only, watching Danny win. The room is packed with men who have never done an honest day's work in their lives. All of them shouting numbers. All of them betting on a man they think is a monster. The first fight barely lasts a minute. Danny does not smile. He does not celebrate. He simply waits for the next order, the way he always has. To him, this is not violence. This is just Tuesday. But what he did not know was that Bart's world runs on debts owed to worse men. And one of those men is done waiting for payment. The ambush comes fast. Gunfire, shouting, chaos in a narrow alley. Bart goes down, shot and left for dead by men who finally turn on him. Danny survives. Barely. Sirens wail somewhere behind him, fading with every block he crosses. He stumbles away bloodied and alone. And just when things could not get worse, the blood loss finally catches up with him and his legs give out completely. He collapses inside an abandoned antiques warehouse, half conscious. That is when a stranger finds him. A blind man tapping his way through the same warehouse, feeling the air change as he steps toward a body he cannot see. He simply kneels down beside a total stranger and starts talking to him like a person. But what he did not know was that the man who finds him is about to take him home, with absolutely no idea what kind of danger he is inviting through his front door. The blind man's name is Sam, a gentle piano tuner who lives with his stepdaughter, Victoria. Together, without hesitation, they nurse this bruised, silent stranger back to health, never once suspecting what he has spent his whole life being trained to do. But what he did not know was that somewhere underneath the silence, the boy Bart spent years erasing is still alive in there, and this house is about to bring him back. Days pass. Danny barely speaks. He flinches at kindness the way other people flinch at pain, as if gentleness is a trick he has not learned to trust yet. He eats standing up close to the door, the way a man does when he still expects to be told to leave. He does not know how to hold a fork properly, and nobody laughs at him for it. Slowly, something shifts. Danny starts listening to music for the first time in his life, and he cannot explain why it makes his chest ache. He sits near the piano while Victoria practices, saying nothing, absorbing everything. Sam teaches him small phrases, patiently, the way you would teach a child, except this particular child is built like a weapon and flinches at his own reflection. Danny starts learning simple words, simple routines, simple joys, cooking, laughing, sitting quietly in a room without waiting for the next order. Then Victoria does something Bart would never dare. She reaches for the collar around his neck and unlocks it, fully expecting the worst. Nothing happens. No violence. No switch flipping. Just a man standing in a kitchen, breathing freely for the first time in memory, tears he does not understand running down his face. Weeks pass like this, and for the first time, Danny has something he has never had a name for: a family. Sam tells him they are moving back to New York, and that he wants Danny to come with them, as one of their own, not as anyone's property. Danny is stunned into silence for a long moment before he finally says yes. And just when things could not get better, everything falls apart in a single afternoon. While out running a simple errand alone, Danny walks straight into Lefty, Bart's right-hand man, because Bart never actually dies in that alley at all. He survives, and he has been waiting. Lefty drags him back into Bart's world before Danny can say a single word to Sam or Victoria. Bart, alive and furious, forces him straight back into the fighting ring, back into the collar, back into being nothing more than property. This is where everything Danny has quietly rebuilt threatens to collapse for good. Thrown into a cage that night, exhausted and broken, Danny does something he has never done before. He asks Bart, point blank, whether he ever knew his mother. Bart lies to his face, calling her a woman who abandons her own child and disappears. But Danny does not believe him anymore, and that quiet defiance is more dangerous to Bart than any punch Danny has ever thrown. But what he did not know was that the truth has been sitting inside Bart's own home the entire time, folded away in a drawer no one is ever allowed to open. That is when he makes the discovery that changes everything. With Sam and Victoria's help, fractured memories return to Danny in pieces, slow and unbearable, until the full truth finally surfaces. His mother is a struggling music student, hiding a small boy inside a closet while she tries to survive in Bart's world. She sings to him through the door, quietly, so the men outside will not hear either of them. When she finally tries to leave, tries to take her son and disappear for good, Bart shoots her dead in front of the child she is trying to protect. That child is Danny. Every fragment of music he can never explain. Every flinch he can never understand. All of it belongs to the mother Bart murders and then erases from his memory, like she never existed at all. He is not just a weapon Bart builds. He is a boy whose entire life is stolen the moment his mother's body hits the floor, and Bart has been standing over him, controlling him ever since, calling it protection, calling it love, calling it anything but what it actually is. Danny does not break. He runs. And just when things could not get worse, the sound of boots on the stairwell means he is already out of time. He makes it back to Sam and Victoria's apartment and tells them everything. Danny hides Sam and Victoria inside a closet, the same kind of closet from his own hidden childhood, and turns to face every single man who walks through that door alone. But what none of them know is that the collar has already been off for months, and the man they are about to fight is not the man Bart built. This time, when it comes off for good, nobody in that hallway is ready for what happens next. One by one, Bart's men go down, faster than any of them expected, faster than Bart himself ever trained him to be. Danny finally reaches Bart, and for the first time in his life, he is not following an order. He beats Bart to the floor and does not stop, not until Sam and Victoria burst out, begging him not to kill Bart. Danny hesitates, and that hesitation is the whole story. He is no longer the weapon Bart builds him to be. Sam ends it instead, breaking a flower pot over Bart's head before Danny has to decide anything at all. For a long moment, the three of them just stand there, breathing, alive, together. Months later, Danny sits inside Carnegie Hall, watching Victoria perform at her piano recital. The song she plays is the same one buried in his oldest memory, his mother's song, alive again in a room she never gets to see. Danny smiles. He is finally free, but somewhere in that melody, a memory stirs that even freedom can never fully explain. Do you think Danny should have let Bart die?